Hello everyone! I've considered taking my new scarf off to shoot this video, but it's too soft, so I'm keeping it. Today I want to start this series by exploring a Chinese proverb that I heard this week and thought was strangely relevant to what I want to share with you. So here's the proverb. If you must play, decide on 3 things at the start. The rules of the game, the stakes, and the quitting time. Now let's dive into each one in reverse order. We'll start with the quitting time. Although this series is called How Not to Quit, I think it's useful to think about what's your deal breakers. Where do you draw the line in the sand and allow yourself to come home? What if your grandmother gets sick? What if she dies? What if your partner misses you too much? Or your kids? What if your partner quits the trail? When do you say, you know what, it's not worth it anymore? Think about it. For me, a few examples of things that were very clear is number 1. I was gonna come home if someone I love died, with the exception of my 2 grandmas, because they haven't been well for quite a while now, so I warned my parents I'm not gonna come home if something happens to them. Number 2. My partner was coming to do half of the trail with me, and it was decided that if he got injured or if he didn't like it very much, I was gonna keep walking without him. I encourage you to seriously go deep and make a list. Allow yourself to be selfish for once, so that when you're on the trail and you receive some bad news, you know whether it falls in the category of I'm going home or this sucks, but I'm gonna keep walking. Now let's talk about the stakes of the game. Why are you doing this? What's to gain? What's to lose? These are the questions that Zach Davis asks in his book Pacific Crest Trials. Writing down your why is crucial because, believe me, you will think about it so many times on the trail. For me, it was 4 things. To meet amazing people, to live in the woods, to stop being scared, and to prove to myself I'm strong enough to persevere through something difficult. Then you think about what you have to gain, and most importantly, what you have to lose in a failed attempt. What's the value of this project to you? I think sitting down and taking the time to answer those questions on paper is essential introspective work. It's like a contract with yourself, and it will strengthen your commitment. And your commitment to the trail and to yourself is what will change everything in the long run. Now, the rules. If there's no rules in a game, how do you know when or how you've won? The why we were discussing earlier is very important, but it's not enough. Let me give you another metaphor. The why is like the fuel you put in a car. As long as the car got fuel, it can keep going forward. But to where? Where is the car going? Is your goal to thru-hike the entire trail? Because it doesn't have to be. What's your goal? Be specific. Specific goals have a much higher rate of success. For me, my specific goal was to stay on the trail until the end of September. My thinking was, I might be too slow or I might get injured, but I must stay on the trail until the end of September. So maybe your goal is time-related, like mine. You want to hike the trail in 100 days. You want to be home for your mom's birthday. Maybe it's distance-related. You want to reach 100 miles, 2,000 miles, or you want to hike the entire trail. A measurable goal is the foundation that's too often neglected. Now, some people's approach is more like, I just want to spend the summer on the trail, and that's completely fine. Go for it, enjoy. But I'm assuming that if you're watching this series, it means that you have a quest you want to pursue and that you're at least a little bit achievement-oriented. So you must not be stuck in the middle, in a state of, I'd like to reach the terminus, but you know, whatever's fine. No, if you have a goal, you reach for it. It might sound like I'm focusing on the achievement, but I want to highlight that I'm not dismissing the process at all. The process is what you're gonna remember all your life. But a lot of the times with thru-hiking, the process needs a goal in order to make sense. So that's it for today. To summarize, start by thinking about the quitting time. When is it okay for you to come home? Then think about the stakes of the game. Why are you doing this? What's to gain? What's to lose? What's the space of this project in your heart? And finally, what's your specific measurable goal? Next week, I'm going to talk about how to get used to discomfort and pain before you leave. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.